Welcome to the Living the Dream podcast with Curveball. If you believe, you can achieve. Welcome to the Living the Dream with Curveball podcast, a show where I interview guests that teach, motivate, and inspire. Today, we're going to be talking about all things dating and relationships, as I am joined by a 22-year-old dating and relationship coach, Chungus. He is known as the Healthy Relationship Coach, and he inspires to make an impact by showing people how to date healthy in the modern age. So, Chungus, thank you so much for joining me today.
Absolutely, Curtis. Thank you for having me.
Why
Blessed to be
don't you?
here.
Oh, absolutely. I appreciate you. Why don't you start off by telling everybody a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely, yeah. So my name is Chungus Thang. I am, yes, I am 22 years old, and yeah, I'm a pretty young dude that talks a lot about a lot of serious things. As a kid, I had to grow up really fast. That's why I go by like I'm 22 years old. But yeah, I spent my entire childhood, learning a lot of things, overcoming a lot of struggles and insecurities and stereotypes. And now it's like just trying to make a positive impact by being the person that I needed when I was a kid, and teaching other guys and girls how to overcome a lot of things that I faced, so they don't have to deal with the issues that I did.
Well, tell us what made you get into dating and relationships and what makes you credible to talk about dating and relationships.
Absolutely. Good question. Good question. So credibility is something that's very important. That's something that I always look for whenever, we're taking advice from anybody. Credibility, I speak from experience. I've studied, dating relationships for like over 8 years now, ever since I was a kid growing up. And really the biggest credibility I have is that, I've had three serious relationships. First relationship lasted about 6 months, and then it was on and off for about 3 months. It ended up being a toxic relationship, so it taught me a lot. The second relationship lasted almost 2 years, and I learned a lot from that. And then I took about an 8 month break from dating, and now I'm currently in a relationship with an amazing woman. It's a very healthy relationship, I would say, and yeah, we love each other very much. We've been dating for about 7 months now, and it's been absolutely phenomenal.
Well, why do you feel like your past relationships didn't work the way you wanted them to?
Yeah, it was really when I was a kid, right? Like a lot of people, I was just that like a young, immature a kid, and I studied dating and relationships from people that were not the best role models, right? So I didn't have a good father figure in the household. My biological father was not a very kind person, and I just I didn't want to become like him. So then I started looking online, going on YouTube and stuff like that. And then obviously as a kid, you're kind of looking, like you're doing a lot of the immature stuff. I used to be a frat boy and all that, right? I used to live in a fraternity house, and I was a part of hookup culture and just all that. And I was just constantly partying. And the first relationship, it was just, like I knew what I want to have, which was the relationship that my parents had, but I was still, like I was using, like hookup culture and all that to run away from a lot of the issues that I was facing in the home instead of actually facing my problems as a kid.
So, what fuels your passion to help others with their love lives?
It's there's a lot of things. It's just like, when I was a kid, I would always, try to, you know, I thought that the worth of a man was like, how attractive he is to women. And I used to be super insecure, super shy. I mean, just to hop on a call with you, like when I was a kid, I would never be able to do that. But I overcame a lot of struggles, and what I realized growing up was that I stand about 5 feet 4.5 ish, so I'm not a tall guy, right? And I don't have six figures. I've never made more than like $40,000 a year, and I don't currently have a six pack, right? So it's like a lot of people believe that you have to have 6 feet, six figures, and a six pack, but I'm like, I've never had, I've never had most of that, right? And it's like if I could succeed, then other people can too. And I know that as a kid, you know, I really wish that I would have had somebody like me now to look up to be like, hey, I understand you're short. I understand you don't have a bunch of money. I understand you may be a little bit chubby, right? Maybe a little bit skinny fat. You can still succeed in dating. You can still find love. You can still attract a girlfriend. You don't have to be lonely. And I think that's something that a lot of people face nowadays. Modern day loneliness. Just we're so separated from each other. I'm trying to, make a positive impact against that.
Well, give the listeners some tips about healthy dating.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So when it comes to healthy dating, and I like to teach men, but it kind of like whenever you say healthy dating, I've noticed it attracts a lot of women as well. But if you want to learn how to get into healthy relationships, right, or to date in a healthy way, the first thing that we want to make sure is that we think about where do we get our education from. A lot of people, they'll learn from like places like Disney, or maybe they'll watch romantic comedies and stuff like that. I grew up watching stuff like How I Met Your Mother, the Notebook, tons of stuff like that. I used to be addicted to rom-coms. So it's one of the first things you want to look at. Now, romantic comedies and like Disney and all that, it's a fairy tale, it's fake. Those are actually very toxic relationships. If you think about the relationships that you see on camera, like Ross and Rachel from Friends, those are very toxic relationships. Now, if you didn't learn from romantic comedies, chances are that you learned from your parents. So I left the home, like my parents disowned me because I wanted to date outside my race when I was about 18, 19-ish. And what happened was it's like I'm 22 years old, I've only, been out of the household for, like a few years, but I still have like about 18 years of just absorbing the exact relationship that my biological father and my mom had. And like it was not a very good relationship. My biological father was very abusive. So it's like whether or not you like your parents, whether or not you like your father, if you don't put conscious effort to not become like your father or not have a relationship like the ones that your parents had, you're going to subconsciously attract that kind of relationship. You may not become exactly like your father, but that's what I've noticed, is that you're still going to subconsciously think a lot of ways or do a lot of things that like your father did. So that's one of the first things, is to look at where did you learn about relationships, because like what we learn as kids, we're like sponges, and then from there we go past that. And the greatest way to learn how to date, right, is to really focus on two main aspects. That's what I've noticed. It's number one is self-improvement. No matter what, we have to be the best versions of ourselves. As men, we have to keep working. And a man's role in society, right, like historically speaking, has always been to protect and provide. Men fight the wars. Men always been seen as like the breadwinners. Men, they come home and they take care of the family, right? Or like they provide for the family, they protect for the family. Now, historically speaking, for women, and this isn't to say that women are just about physical appearance. A woman are more than just her looks, but a woman's role in society has always been to be beautiful and to be nurturing. Women are the other figures, right? They take care of the family. They nurture and all that. And so as men, we have to work on, being able to protect and provide, right? We have to be able to, take care of a lot of things, but I break it down into three main aspects. It's what I call the three pillars of dating success. It goes into self-improvement. So there's, self-improvement and then good communication, but within self-improvement, I take a very logical and practical step-by-step approach. The first thing you always want to work on is to make yourself more attractive, right? So you want to work on your good looks. That's the first thing anybody's ever going to notice about you, whether you wear glasses, whether you have a nice haircut, whether you took a shower, right? Hygiene is super important. Whether how tall you are. A lot of people disregard height, but height is incredibly important. But you can't control your height, but you can control your physique, right? You can improve your body a little bit. You can work out and all that. So then the first pillar is good looks. From there, we go to social skills and social proof. If you want to learn how to date, you have to learn how to talk to people, right? If you want to learn how to talk to girls, you have to learn how to talk to boys. If you want to learn how to flirt with women, you have to learn how to first, be able to talk to, strangers, right? And you don't have to be like super confident all the time, but like you have to be able to strike up a conversation with guys, right? If you're if you're not attracted to guys, you have to be able to talk to guys, like guys at the gym or something, that people that you're not necessarily attracted to. But then there's social skills, understanding social dynamics, understanding what's okay to talk about, what's not okay to talk about. Then from there, we learn about social proof. Now, social status is something that's incredibly important, and it sounds a lot like really weird. A lot of time people think that it's a bad thing, but your social status is important. Do you have friends? That's incredibly important. Do you have female friends? That's another thing that a lot of girls look for. A lot of women, they're interested in, hey, like, is this guy somebody that women like to be around? That's something incredibly useful. So good looks, social skills, social proof, and then we go into confidence and charisma. So we have confidence. Confidence is something that builds over time and it comes to practice. The way I teach it is to, use baby steps, right? I just, I literally go step by step by step. You can start by just going to an environment where maybe you have not, ever been. Like, let's say you move to a new city, then let's say you move to I don't know, like Brunswick, Georgia, right? You move to Brunswick, Georgia, you've never been there before. So you don't know anybody. Well, the first thing that, I would tell anybody to do is, okay, well, first go on Google, like learn more about the city, learn more about the, the places to go and stuff like that. And then I want you to go to maybe like a restaurant that you're familiar with, right? If you go to, like, I don't know, like Jimmy John's or something, like go there, you're familiar with the place. And then from there, I want you to just talk to people, get to know people, and then maybe join a gym or something, maybe join like an improv class or, like a dance class or something like that. Something, find things that you're comfortable with in that new place. If so, then, that helps you build confidence. When you feel more comfortable, like say you're going to a new dance class, you want to, before you go to that dance class, learn more about the dance style, watch YouTube videos, do some beginner tutorials at home, maybe read the Google reviews of the place before you actually go there. It's going to make you feel more comfortable, it's going to make you feel more safe, and it helps reduce a lot of anxiety when we go to new places. So that's like the practical, kind of guide there to help build confidence. But then from there, so we got good looks, social skills, social proof, confidence. And the last thing that I tell guys to focus on is charisma. And the reason why we focus on all these other aspects of, of just self-improvement first before we talk about, how to flirt with girls or anything like that, is because the more, you've worked on your self-improvement, the less skills you need to have with women, like the less charisma you need. You don't have to, be like necessarily good with women. You don't have to learn how to flirt as much if you've already focused on all these other things. But if you haven't focused on these other things, then you're gonna have to be really good. They call it like game. I don't really like that, but yeah, so that's the whole aspect of self-improvement. But then from there, the next thing that we want to learn as well is good communication, right? Whenever we talk with women, whenever we get into a relationship with a girl, if we're looking for something serious, the greatest thing you can do is just be direct, honest, and respectful about your intentions with her. If you treat a woman like she is a friend, she's going to view you like a friend. If you treat her like she is your little sister, she's going to view you like a big brother, right? So we can't be surprised about, what happens based off on the way that we interact with women. And as men, it is our job, or it has always been our job to lead, right? We have to lead the interactions. We have to lead the way. We pave the way. So then we go from there, and we work on our self-improvement, and then we work on just good communication, being honest about it. Obviously, can't be needy. We can't be like, oh my god, you're so pretty, you're the prettiest girl in the world, who am I? And we don't want to be saying that kind of stuff. That's really needy, and women aren't attracted to that. But when it goes into healthy dating, right, so that's already how do you get a girlfriend in a healthy, in a healthy way, without having to do a lot of the manipulation or things that are out there. When we want to get into healthy relationships, we have to learn things such as love language, attachment styles, MBTI, and just really study a little bit of psychology. And when we can study that kind of stuff, it helps us better understand, how to, be in healthy relationships, both romantically and platonically with women and guys, right? So when you understand, a little bit about your psychology, a little bit about your upbringing, when you look into your childhood, right? Because a lot of us have childhood traumas or things that we've overcome. When you can study and really better understand yourself and really work on yourself before you get into a relationship, it ends up making it so much easier to get into healthy relationships.
Well,
Yeah, sorry, that was a bit of a tangent.
oh no, that was absolutely perfect, and we definitely appreciate the expertise. Give us your opinion on online dating.
Yeah, so online dating, my first girlfriend, we met on Tinder, and it's like online dating, it depends. The way that I teach it, like online dating works because it's kind of evolved over time. So online dating definitely can work, but I don't recommend guys focus too much on online dating. But in regards to the apps and stuff, there's been stuff like eHarmony, My.com, and all that. And nowadays there's Tinder, Bumble, Hinge. I think the best app right now is Hinge, but Tinder for casual sex and hookups, and that's the quickest way to get into toxic relationships. So I don't recommend Tinder, but online dating definitely does work. But regardless, even if you're doing online dating, you still have to focus on your self improvement. You still have to learn how to communicate, in person. because we don't live on the apps. If you want to get a girlfriend, if you want to attract, maybe your future wife or the future mother of your children, you can't focus on, learning how to live in the online space. You have to learn in person. I think it's called intra personal skills, something like that. But you have to learn how to communicate with people in person. And you have to get that experience, which is why I don't recommend online dating for the most part, but it can work.
There are a lot of dating and relationship coaches out there. Tell us what you feel sets you apart from all the other dating and relationship coaches out there.
Absolutely. I appreciate it, man. So what sets me apart is that I am the only person that I've ever seen that is Asian, stands about 5 feet 4.5, and understands what it's like. Those two things set me apart so much, but also understands what it's like, to be just to not have six figures, to not have a six pack. I'm the only person that really understands what it's like to, and I don't want to disrespect any other ethnicities. I love everybody, right? But a lot of dating coaches, they're either white or Hispanic, right? And there are black dating coaches as well. But like, there's never really been an Asian. And there's a lot of stereotypes against Asians. Asian men have been seen as very feminine. And it's like, they're Asian men, statistically speaking, they're at the bottom of the dating food bowl. So it's like, if I've been at the very bottom, ethnically speaking, and if I am also short, right, I'm not 6 feet tall, it means that everything had to be harder for me than with most dating coaches. And I also, like, I can't grow a beard like a lot of guys can. So it's like, I don't have a lot of these, like masculine traits that a lot of guys can, rely on. So if I could succeed, then, if it worked for me, it'll work for anybody else.
Tell us about some of the challenges that you feel people face in today's dating market.
I think a big one is just, I've noticed that men and women, they've kind of been, separated. We've kind of been pushing against each other. But I think a big one is just too many options, right? Online dating has kind of, it's just led the way. And, when we have too many options, it makes it harder for us to commit to one person. And I think that society as a whole is better when we're not just, having sex with everybody, when we're just committed to, like just that one partner. Maybe not like a soulmate per se, but like, just like a committed relationship. I think society as a whole is better when we have committed, serious relationships instead of just, just hooking up with everybody.
In your bio, you talk about the letters AMQF. Tell us what that means.
Yeah, absolutely. So AMQF, so I started my YouTube channel on, it's called like AMQF, Healthy Dating for Men. But when I first started, my YouTube channel, I was very lonely, right? I was stuck in my bedroom. I was sick, and I was just making a ton of YouTube videos just for the sake of it. I had been inspired by other YouTubers. I was like, you know what? I can't. I literally, I was stuck in bed for like, I think 2 weeks or so, and I just couldn't do anything. I just got so bored, and I was like, you know what? I want to just make a YouTube channel. Screw it, like just have all the time in the world. So I started thinking about, what can I name my channel, and I asked my girlfriend. It's like, I wanted to have a name that represented, a lot of things that I want to talk about. My YouTube channel, the first reason I ever created it, like it was positive Asian male representation without bashing women or other ethnicities. And that's where, AMQF comes in. So there's things like AMWF, which is Asian male white female, AMBF, Asian male black female, AMLF, Asian male Latina female, and then there's AMXF, which is Asian male, and then X female. But I was like, I don't want it to be about, getting Asian guys to date a specific ethnicity. And I don't want it to just be about Asian guys, right? I want it to be more than that. So my girlfriend helped me come up with the name. She actually, came up with it. It's AMQF, Asian male, quality female. And what it means basically, it's self-improvement of the underdogs. It's like, it's just sharing, my personal journey through life and my journey of self-improvement to inspire others. Because a lot of people don't realize that, a lot of the challenges that Asian men face in dating, because Asian men, Asian culture is very like silent. A lot of times we're very quiet. We don't, we just, kind of just put our heads down, just kind of go to work. We don't really talk a lot about the struggles that we face. We kind of just take it, right? So it's like, it's inspiring others. That's really what it means. Asian male, body female. It's my journey of, making myself more attractive to, be the best version of myself, so that one day I could attract the woman of my dreams, a quality woman.
Do you have any current or upcoming projects that you're working on that people need to know about?
Yeah. So I'm currently working on. It's kind of crazy. Have you ever heard of Fit to Fat to Fit?
Yeah, I think I have heard of it. Tell the listeners who don't know about it more about it.
Yeah, so Fit to Fat to Fit, it's a really popular TV show series. But basically, there was a personal trainer. His name is Drew Manning, and he created this challenge where he made himself fat. He made himself basically obese, and so this guy was ripped. He had the most impressive physique ever, and he spent 6 months of his life just getting really fat. He was eating like I think like 7,000 calories a day or something, and he just made himself really fat. And he did that because he wanted to, better understand his clients and to inspire them. Because a lot of people that are trying to lose weight, they feel like, their personal trainers don't know what they're, talking about. They don't know the experience. They've never been, fat. So he spent 6 months making himself as fat as possible, and then he spent another 6 months burning off the weight, losing the weight with his clients. So he was like walking their hands through the process. He was like, hey, I'm here with you. So that's something that I'm kind of working on myself. It's my own version of that challenge, and it's eating a Big Mac every day for 30 days. I'm currently on, I think, day 28. So I've only got like 2, 3 days left. But yeah, it's been this whole journey of trying to make myself as fat as possible. Right now, I am about 26.9% body fat. I got a DEXA scan and everything. But it's like, yeah, I'm kind of documenting that journey, making a little mini documentary. I've never heard of a dating coach do this, make himself intentionally as fat as possible. But I'm doing that so that I can inspire others and be like, and also show the journey going back to fit. Trying to build an aesthetic body, going to the gym, so that I can inspire others to do the same as well.
Well, definitely wish you the best of luck with that. How can
Appreciate it.
people stay connected with you? You mentioned a YouTube channel, but give out your website, social media links so people can stay connected with you on your journey.
Absolutely, Curtis. Thank you. Yeah, so my website is healthydatingconsultation.com. I'm giving away a free consultation to anybody that wants to learn or is interested in working with me. It's a free consultation, really to go in depth and diagnose what you're currently facing in your dating life, to help you get into healthy relationships. That's the purpose of the call. Yeah, and feel free to go to that website if you guys are interested in hopping on a call with me. But if you want to check out, just my YouTube content, the website is ANQF, Healthy Dating for Men. And yeah, we're just dropping some killer videos on there, just dropping some value.
I'll close us out with some final thoughts. Anything that we haven't touched on that you would like the listeners to know or you'd like to touch on?
Yeah, the way that I approach dating, it's something that's helped me with a lot of things, because I know that a lot of people face a loneliness. That's one of the biggest issues right now in modern day society. And what I found is that if you want to overcome loneliness or you just want to live a healthy life, something that I always remember is the concept of karma, right? So I teach people, if like if you spread love, it will come back to you, especially when you least expect it. So be there for others, help others out, and just just take a look at your relationships. Before you even think about actually dating women, focus first on learning how to like be there for your friends, for your family. Be there for your sisters, your brothers, your mother, your father. Like just take a moment just to spend some quality time with them. And what happens is it'll end up making you a healthier person, and it will help you so much in your own life just by being there for the people in your life. And the funny thing is, women are actually pretty attracted to guys who do that. So it's like it kind of helps, so, like on the side there. But just spread love, because karma is very real. If you spread love and positivity, it will come back to you.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the healthy dating coach, Chungus. Please be sure to follow, rate, review, share this episode to as many people as possible. Check out his YouTube channel. Go get that free consultation. If you need a little bit of help with dating, and Android listeners, please go to the Google Play Store and download the Living the Dream with Curveball podcast app. Thank you so much for joining us tonight and spreading your expertise, Chungus.
Absolutely, Curtis. Thank you so much for having me.
For more information on the Living the Dream podcast, visit www.djcurveball.com. Until next time, stay focused on living the dream.